Salutations, crustaceans. I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be revisiting the Cort GB64JJ. Let's do this. This is the Cort GB64JJ. And this is a bass, this is in fact the exact bass that we reviewed just about a year ago, maybe a little bit more than that. And in that review, I mentioned that the fretboard was over roasted and the grain of the wood used here wasn't that pretty, but overall the feature set was nice, it plays well, it sounds nice, and it has hum canceling pickups, something which is usually not found at a bass that's $450. So pretty good specs overall. I just think the example that we got was a little bit heavy-handed on the roasting, but other than that, a pretty solid instrument. Now I do believe that I reviewed this bass before the Sire V5 came out, and to get a roasted maple neck as well as an active preamp at a bass that's $450 was pretty much unheard of. So I did give this a 4 out of 5 claws, but today we're going to look at this bass again and see if it deserved that rating. First, let's go over the specs. For the body wood, I originally said that this had an ash body or swamp ash body. However, Cort is also using sassafras. That's right, sassafras, a wood very similar to swamp ash for many of their bodies, replacing swamp ash. So I believe this might actually be a sassafras body, and that is paired with a roasted maple neck. We'll talk more about this neck in just a little bit. For electronics, we have 2 hum-canceling pickups from Cort, and then a 2-band preamp that has a push-pull bypass. However, there is no tone control, so it is just a treble and bass control. For the bridge, we have a Fender-style bridge with 5 inline screws. That means this can be replaced with a high-mass unit or a different bridge if you're choosing, or you could leave it be if you're not into swapping bridges, but you can swap this with a standard hip shot or all bridge or whatever bridge you like. You can probably swap that in here as long as it's a Fender drop-in. The neck is a 20-fret roasted maple neck with a black binding and black blocks, though it's pretty hard to see those blocks because the roast on the fingerboard is just so dark, and the rest of the neck isn't like that. I really don't like when the fingerboard and the rest of the neck aren't really uniform when you have a roasted maple neck. I know Sire and Fender do very good jobs at making sure that their fingerboards and the rest of the neck is pretty much uniform in roasting, so good job those guys. Not so great job Cort. And I do know that Cort manufactures a lot of low and mid-tier instruments for Ibanez and other brands who are also using roasted maple necks. And I did comment on my Telman, a TMB 505 review, which was early on last year, that I had seen examples in Guitar Center that had much more roasted fingerboards, or vice versa, a very roasted neck and a lighter fingerboard. It's a very odd sight, and I don't know how they could pass that. And up at the headstock, we have a Cort logo, a Cort-style headstock, and 4 standard-style tuners. Now, these are high-quality tuners, though they're not lightweight, and I know that the next tier of GB series, you do get the Hipshot licensed tuners, which is an even more compelling argument to go for the next tier. Anyways, so that's what you get up front. Let's go ahead and turn this bass around real quick. And then around back we have the beautiful wood and the battery door as well as the neck heel. Up here you can see that it's not a standard Fender style neck attachment. There is a little bit of a contour to allow for easier upper fret access, which is a nice touch at the price point, so that's pretty cool. And around back we also see on the neck that there's a skunk stripe. I think that's an odd touch because that's usually for like one-piece necks where, you know, everything is all one piece and then you put the truss rod in through the skunk stripe. So I don't know why you would have that when the fingerboard is separate. And we can also get a better look at the tuners around back. They're tuners. And now I know you guys are wondering, what does this bass sound like? You guys know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. Wow, not bad. I haven't touched this bass in a really long time, and it's actually still in tune, which is surprising. I mean, this is still $450. The price hasn't changed from when I first reviewed it, and I know a lot of other bass prices have gone up, so pretty neat. As I mentioned, these pickups are hum-canceling jazz pickups, which is a nice touch for the $450 price point. Everything you've heard thus far was on the neck pickup, because when I was setting this up, I put everything kind of up all the way except for the EQ, thinking it was volume, but no, we were just listening to the neck pickup, and I think that sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and bring the blend back to center. So the controls are volume, blend, I think treble, no, bass, and then treble. Yep, volume, blend, bass, and treble. So with the blend centered, let's play around a little bit more. Not bad, not bad. Very nice, very nice. I know that's a little premature slapping, but it sounds good. This is a nice sounding bass right out of the box. I haven't done any mods to this, and I was thinking about doing some mods, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if you want to see me mod this bass down in the comments below. With the blend centered, let's play with this EQ a little bit. First, let's cut everything, see what that sounds like. Next, let's bring the bass up to center, leaving the treble at full cut. And let's bring the bass up to about 50% now. And let's bring that back down to center and actually cut that all the way and bring the treble up to center now, leaving the bass cut. Not bad, not bad. And let's bring the treble up to 50% as well. treble boosted to 50%. Let's bring the bass up to center now. So that little buzzing you hear sometimes is me touching the poles. You can attribute that to bad technique, but that can be fixed with a little bit of copper shielding tape and some soldering. If you can ground the poles of the pickup, that will eliminate the noise when you touch the pole pieces. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty nice that you're getting hum canceling pickups in a really silent operation overall for a $450 package. Again, $450, 2-band preamp, roasted maple neck, though someone really needs to tone it down with the roasting, at least with these fingerboards here. I think some more consistency when it comes to the color of the neck finish would be appreciated, but overall, I don't think this is bad for the money. Let's go ahead and play this with a pick now, see what it sounds like. I'm going to go ahead and use my Dunlop felt pick, if I can find it. So right now we have the EQ centered and the blend centered as well. Let's start picking. Very nice, very nice. This sounds quite good picked. Now let's go ahead and move over to the neck pickup and do some more picking. Very nice. And let's move over to the bridge pickup. Now, one thing that I actually haven't mentioned yet is the pickup spacing. This is 70s pickup spacing, meaning you have a bridge pickup that is closer to the bridge than your traditional jazz bass. Now, many notable jazz bass players like Geddy Lee and Marcus Miller are using 70s style jazz basses, and that has the bridge pickup again positioned closer to the bridge and gives it a different tone. So now let's move over to the bridge pickup. I realize I really haven't played it fingerstyle, so let's do that first. Very nice, very nice. Now, let's go ahead and use the pick again. And let's go ahead and put the pick down now. Still working on that. And bring the blend back to center. Do some slapping. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, you can kind of get a Marcusy tone out of this, and it's in the same price range as some Sire, so if you're looking for, I guess, a simpler preamp, you know, this might be up your alley, but, you know, every Sire I've had has been way more physically attractive than this bass. I mean, the mismatched fingerboard and the ugly grain Nah. Now, let's go ahead and throw some drums behind this bass. So here are my final thoughts on the Cort GB64JJ. It is a overall very nice package, but it does have its list of pros and cons. The cons being mostly aesthetic in my opinion, though I guess the center position in the preamp could use a little bit more bottom end. I find these pickups just to be a bit on the bright side as well, but not overly bright. Overall, those tonal things that I mentioned were nitpicks, but the aesthetic things are definitely not nitpicks. I think that in 2021, given the climate where you have a lot more roasted maple necked basses, especially even in this price point with the Sire 5 series with the V5, P5, and D5, coming in I think $50 more than this at $499, this being around $450, I think that this particular neck is frankly unacceptable in 2021. I understand why I rated it 4 claws back when I reviewed it early on. The 5 series of Sires wasn't really a thing. Roasted maple wasn't really a thing, especially at this price point, so it was definitely well-deserved commendation at this time. However, in 2021, with the greater variety of basses with roasted maple necks and similar specs to this, I would not find this fingerboard acceptable. So what would I rate this in 2021? I'm gonna rate this bass 3 claws out of 5. That's right, I am detracting a claw. Now, I have not gotten a new example of this instrument, however, the playing field has changed, and this does not present the same value that it did early on in 2020. I still think there's a lot to like here with the hum-canceling pickups, solid 2-band preamp, and the overall construction is nice, as well as the upper fret access. That being said though, the aesthetics are something that you really can't escape, unless you want to refinish the instrument, but why would you do that for something this cheap, unless you're really looking to do something like that? But I digress. The aesthetics need some work. The wood grain is definitely pretty fugly, and this roast on the neck is not great either, so that's where I stand with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Cort GB64JJ in 2021. And as always, until we groove again,